Hello and welcome. My name is Cramps, and this is a small update after the first week of the hardcore solo self-found race I'm doing with JuxtAPoserTv. So, at the moment, after a week, we're at level 94, still doing physical sacrifice. So, which means maxing sacrifice, the synergies, redemption, and fanaticism. Running fanaticism, maxing joust, and then just pumping the rest into holy shield just for defensive purposes. The current gear is looking pretty decent. We have a ED Deadly Strike Chafers, missed the puzzle box, and that's been like a recurring theme. 4 puzzle boxes so far, all have given me 1 hole, which is sad, but it is what it is. And here I threw a ED minus requirements duel. I think there's like fire damage and attacker takes damage on there as well, a rare one. It's decent, a very good weapon for fist sacrifice. The static field helps a lot, the high damage, attack rating, deadly strike, all around really nice weapon. For gloves I'm using Drax with all attributes for sustain, obviously. For the rings I'm using a min-max ring with some mana leech and a little res. String of ears, 14 PDR. The slam on there is kind of garbage, especially for this build, as you'll see. Like I have light res here and I have a lot of light res. Let's just put it like that. Ravenfrost for a CBF with an LPK slam. Gore Riders, Magic Fine Slam, not that impressive, but I mean it helps in maps. I'm using a Twilights for the minus enemy physical resistance. Free OS Slam, which is what I really need on this, and I threw in, well, a diamond and a ruby and a sapphire because I needed fire and cold res, and those give me 40 each instead of just putting in diamonds like people usually do. Using a highlights. This is unslammed. I found 2 of them. The one that I slammed is no more, so still holding on with the slam on this one. For the helm I'm using a 2 OS and aerials. Some ED min-max jewels in there, so it gives me a lot of damage and 30 increased attack speed, which I need. On swap I have a 3/6 CTA, 2 skill lidless. And for the charms, just kind of whatever I've gotten so far. So damage, some res, FHR here. And like, as I said, cold and fire res is what I need. So I still need them from charms as well. Using some magic skill damage charms to increase the damage from the sacrifice explosion. And yeah, just kind of random stuff here. Annie. And I finally found a Paladin torch. So on stream I thought it was the 16th attempt, but I just recounted and it was actually the 19th torch we found. So we've done 23 Uber twists and got 1 Paladin torch, obviously. So we don't even have a backup if I were to die. Yeah, if we look at the advanced stats, max res, huge overcap on light res, because light res on Chafers, light res on Twilights, High Lords, and even a slam on the string. And we have some curse res, or curse reduction at least, from the shield. And 44 PDR, 12 flat MDR. We're at the 48 FHR breakpoint, highest IS breakpoint with Fanat. 66 deadly strikes, some crushing blow and open wounds from the cores. Yeah, it's pretty decent. 29 life leech, 10 LPK, very sustainable. And I do have to swap to seal whenever I do like map bosses or primevals or something like that. Yeah, for the damage we're at almost 8 to 16k, which is really nice. Buttload of attack rating, max block, so dumped quite a bit of points into dexterity. 2150 life. Yeah, pretty solid. For the merc, I'm using an Act 1 physical merc. This is like somewhat of a controversial choice. People usually would use like an Act 5 might merc to get some more damage and use like some kind of amp weapon, Wild Tusk, Lacerator, Gabble, what have you. But yeah, I'm using a Witch Wild here for my amp, and she's out of town when Fanat is employed. She's at the highest breakpoint. Other than that, she's using a Heavenly Garb for the Sanctuary Aura, which helps me a lot. Helps her hit as well, I guess, or gives her some damage at least. Drax for sustain, String of Ears for PDR, and some life leech. Marowalks for CBF. There's 2 LPK on here, which is pretty decent for her. 3 OS Crown of Thieves. It's kind of a leftover thing. I probably should swap the jewels in there, but there's some damage, I guess. I really don't want her to have a lot of damage though, because on this build I want to get the last hit on everything so I can get the sacrifice explosion. So I kind of want to mitigate her damage a bit. That's why I haven't even upgraded the Witch Wilds. All I need her to do is proc amp. So, and that's why I went with the physical version, because she has strafe, which procs a lot. We tried with an Act 2 and an Act 4 merc, but this is definitely the one that procs amp the most and helps me quite a lot. She does have slow missiles as well, which is a nice defensive skill to have on your merc. And because she's ranged, she kind of like kills stragglers and stuff. I just have some pretty decent arrows actually for what I want. There's some life leech on here and pierce. So she's at 94. So I would like to get a bit more pierce, but it's pretty decent. And she's at 36 life leech. So every time she goes low, she just hits something and she's at full health again. And I guess there's fast run on here as well, which is nice, and the ITD slam, which is really nice, which helps her hit at least regular mobs. So yeah, just cruising still hunting for items to be able to do some T2 stuff. We're getting closer to some of the kills at least. Lucian is not that far off in the future. The others probably a bit more. We have some like all kinds of weird like bossing items. I keep just like everything that has max res, obviously, and PLR and stuff. Very nice shield here with 75 PLR, res and life and 3 OS. But I think I want to go charged. That is probably the way to do at least Rathma. That's what I have experience with, and it's a very strong build for that. But like the swords have not yet really come in for a good bossing build, at least for T2. We'll get there. All right. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day. GG.